השואה שנתחוללה על עם ישראל בזמן האחרון. בה הוכרעו לטבח מיליונים יהודים באירופה, הוכיחה מחדש בעליל את ההכרח בפתרון בעיית העם היהודי מחוסר המולדת. 29 בנובמבר 1947 קיבלה עצרת האומות המאוחדות החלטה המחייבת הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. ועל יסוד החלטת עצרת האומות המאוחדות אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
למחרת החלטת החלוקה, כמו על פי תסריט צפוי, התפרץ המון ערבי זועם והצית את המרכז המסחרי בירושלים. הערבים הפלסטינים ומנהיגיהם לא היו מוכנים להשלים עם החלטת האו"ם, ופתחו בפעולות איבה במטרה להכשיל אותה.
בתום 6 ימי הלחימה שילשה מדינת ישראל הצעירה את שטחה. ערב המלחמה המתח באזור גובר. הסורים מפגיזים את רמת הגולן, בירושלים הירדנים צולפים לעבר הרובע היהודי, נאצר שולח כוחות גדולים לחצי האי סיני, מגרש את חיילי האו"ם ומכריז על סגירת מצרי טיראן לכלי שיט ישראלים. ב5 ביוני בשעה 7:45 פורצת המלחמה. חיל האוויר יוצא למבצע מוקד להשמדת חילות האוויר של מצרים, סוריה וירדן תוך שעות ספורות.
Premier Begin and President Sadat promised to sign a formal peace treaty within 3 months. It was hailed as a breakthrough, a worthy follow-up to Sadat's historic trip to Jerusalem last year. It won them the Nobel Prize, but final agreement proved difficult, especially over the West Bank and the Palestinians.
Now the efforts of all who have labored before us bring us to this moment, that the security of the Israeli people will be reconciled with the hopes of the Palestinian people, and there will be more security and more hope for all.
And saying again to you, enough. Let us pray that a day will come when we all will say farewell to the arms.
תוכנית ההתנתקות תכלול פריסה מחודשת של כוחות צה"ל בקווי ביטחון חדשים ושינוי בפריסת היישובים, כך שיפחת ככל הניתן מספר הישראלים הנמצאים בלב האוכלוסייה הפלסטינית.
On Ramon, the first Israeli to fly in space.
Israel's preparing to use laser systems for the first time in the world.
Israel under attack.
And families were even burned alive inside their homes.
To see hundreds of bodies, cars on the roads riddled with bullets, it was a scene from a horror movie.
Hamas terrorists crossing in Israel, killing not only Israeli soldiers, but Israeli civilians. In the street, in their homes, innocent people murdered, wounded, entire families taken hostage by Hamas. Just days after Israel marked the holiest of days in the Jewish calendar.
Nice to meet you. Sarah Levine. I'm the cantor at B'nai Aviv in Weston, Florida. I'm Tal Ben Yehuda. I am in Overland Park, Kansas.
Hi, I'm Ben Tisser. I'm the cantor of Beth El Synagogue in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Jerry Berkowitz. I'm from Milwaukee. I'm a retired Chazan. Hi, I'm Chazan Benjamin Natus of Beth Israel Congregation of Owings Mills, Maryland.
Chazan Jesse Holzer from Jacksonville, Florida.
Nancy Abramson. I recently retired as director of the Cantorial School at JTS.
I'm Asaph Radkin from Bethesda, Maryland, Congregation Bethel.
באתי לקחת ציוד לאח שלי שבעזה.
I want to say thank you very much to the Jewish community in the USA, especially the community in New York. Thank you very much for all the support and the good things you're sending to us. It keeps the soldiers strong and fighting for you guys as well. Thank you guys, thank you.
Ofer Barnoy. I am a cantor in Long Island, New York.
אני שושן in New York. So that's why I thought that Tisser hand-selected all of us. He called me. He was like, you have to do this.
When I heard the Cantors Assembly was going to do a trip, I said, I have to go. I don't care what we're doing. I just need to be in Israel. If it's to listen to people's stories, if it's to pack items, if it's to like fetch and pluck things, or just throw money at organizations that need it, I will do it.
My name is Gon, like Alon said, and I live here in Kfar Aza for the last 2 years. My father and my mother live in the kibbutz, my brother live here in the kibbutz, and my sister also live here in the kibbutz. All the family live here. Kfar Aza is a wonderful place. This kibbutz before the 7th of October was amazing. You need to jealous on our life, really, because growing up here and bring our kids here, it's something unusual. The community here is very strong community. We work together, and it was a wonderful place, a beautiful place. So we never thought that something like what happened us here in the 7th of October can happen. The story starts here. This place is called the Nishkia. The Nishkia is a place that our weapons of our own team that live in Kfar Aza, every kibbutz have his own team. It's something like 10 men or women that in the day they will need us, we will come here, take our weapons and go to fight the terrorists. So the first battle at the morning start here. You know what it's Bakai? Bakai is a kind of a vehicle that Hamas will fly with him. Motorized glider. And this is important to understand because when they come with this Bakai, okay, they surprise us and they land inside the kibbutz in 5 different places. 5 Bakais land here early in the morning and start the attack on the kibbutz. They open the way for another terrorist to come inside the kibbutz, and they open the border, the kibbutz border, they open the gate, and all the forces of Hamas come from this way, and they came here. Where you stand was one of Toyota vehicle, the white one, and over there, the second one, and they come to attack the Nishkia. And until 7 in the morning, something like 100 terrorists are walking inside Kfar Aza and start to murder, to burn, to rape, to do what they want. It took a lot of time the army to come here and to protect us. The battle starting Saturday and end only on Wednesday noon. Think about it, it's a lot of time the terrorist was inside Kfar Aza. The army talking about 3 big waves of terrorists crossing from Aza to here. The first in the morning, the second around 9 in the morning, and the third in something like 1 at noon. So the second wave is the biggest wave that comes for Kfar Aza. Those pictures are from the end of the fight. From the Kfar Aza border, we will see Gaza. The border with Gaza from here is something like between 700 to 900 meters. And from the border with Gaza to the first houses inside Gaza, it's something like kilometer. I was here with members of the community over the past couple of weeks, going into the homes and trying to understand what the families went through. So I'm sure that you've heard before of the term mamad, right? The safe room. Any new home in Israel has, that was built in the past 20 years or so. The idea is that there's a room that has an additional layer of cement, and if a rocket falls, that supposedly will prevent the people that are inside from dying. What was very unfortunate is that we learned that the mamad might be missile-proof, but the door is not necessarily bulletproof. So when you walk into a home, which we're not able to do right now, and you look at the mamad door, you'll see bullets inside, and then you start to understand what the stories are. People on the other side of the door holding the handle, okay, while someone is trying to get in. Handles that have been broken down, torn apart. People that were shot and continuing to do that. Stories about seniors who had caretakers who were doing that for them. A lot of these stories did not end well. Okay, this is what happened here 7 weeks ago. One of the families that was mentioned here before has a very unfortunate story as well, a terrible story. A father who realizes that a terrorist is coming at his family, has an older daughter. She's a bit more than, Yam was how old? 20, so a bit more than a teenager. And a mother and other children that are hiding inside. And based on what we know, and this is not clarified or to share with the world, I'm mentioning this with this group, is that there's an assumption that there were attempts to rape her before killing. And at that point, okay, when the father is also in the area, he comes into the picture, he's shot, and then she's shot. So it's much worse. So the layers of the tragedy here are not just about what happened, when someone was killed. It's also about what happened until that happened.
El Madirachamim Shofein Ava Meromi Hametzim Nochanechona Al Kanafei Ashechina Bimalaot Kenoshim Torim Giborim Kizar Arakia Mirim Masirim.
Okay, so my name is Ben Harden. I'm originally from Los Angeles. I'm one of the younger ones. I'm 26. We have a bunch of people in their 30s and their 40s, married with kids, jobs, doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, bus drivers, cab drivers, literally all ends of the spectrum here, farmers as well. So everyone, we got together on October 7th. On October 7th, woke up in the morning to the news of rockets coming in, opened my phone, checked Telegram, checked the news, saw that it was a lot more serious than just the rockets. Saw the Jeeps and the pickup trucks going through Sderot, going door to door on the video cameras, and didn't even wait for the phone call. Immediately got in my car, drove home, packed my bag, and got to our base where we meet up. That day, we're all prepped, bags packed, on the bus, and started moving down south. A big training base, so we were there for 2 nights, and then on Monday, October 9th, we arrived to Kfar Aza. As we arrived, the first thing that we saw was in the evening, and we saw Zaka, the organization that collects all of the bodies and then brings them over to the morgue, identification. So Zaka was there with about 15 ambulances and big trucks like this Maersk truck here, some a little bit smaller, refrigerated trucks that they were then loading from the ambulances onto the big pickup trucks, the bodies. Each ambulance filled as full as can be with bodies. The smell was definitely the thing that stood out the most for me. Just the smell of death. And we ended up being there in Kfar Aza for a week. Our mission was to not only protect the kibbutz itself, but also the whole area between the kibbutz and the border. The border did not exist after the 7th of October. There were so many breaks through the fence that it was as if, and the security was down, all the communications, cameras, etc., sensors were all down. It's just a slight kind of inclination of the types of things that we've been dealing with over the last month. The little dira, the apartment that I was staying in with my guys, was the apartment of a girl named Ella Ben Ami. You might have heard about her. She's been on the news here a lot. Both of her parents were kidnapped, and she found out about both of her parents being kidnapped. Most people didn't find out about still to this day, they don't even have the full numbers if they're missing, if they're kidnapped. Hamas posting these pictures of her parents onto Telegram being kidnapped into Gaza.
Because the IDF is one of the most values-centered militaries, if not the most, in the entire world, and by the way, it's reflective of the whole breadth of Israeli society. It's not just native Israelis and Hebrew speakers, it is Druze, it is Bedouin, it is Arabs, it is Christians, but people come from all over the world to make Aliyah, not just to live in Israel, but to serve in Israel. We've met people on this base from Russia, we've met people from Iowa, from Chicago, from Los Angeles, who came to Israel to enlist in the IDF and are now serving in reserve duty beyond their time. There are reservists who were called up who were on vacation the other side of the world, and maybe they didn't have to rush back, but they did, because they understand the value of serving in this army that's main job is to preserve life.
אז אנחנו מאגודת החזנים מהקהילות הקונסרבטיביות בארצות הברית. זה אגודה של מעל 400 חזנים מכל צפון אמריקה, ארגנטינה, אירופה, ישראל. זה מרגש אותנו ברמות לראות את מה שקורה. זה כואב לנו, אבל אנחנו מרגישים שאתם אחינו ואחיותינו. אתם משפחה שלנו. עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו חי. עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו חי. עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו חי. תודה לכם, בזכותכם, עם ישראל חי, תודה.
Tonight, we're here to offer our beautiful concert to the residents and some displaced residents who are here now in Jerusalem.
A few minutes before we go on stage, this is our first time on stage together. And the most important thing is we're having fun. Yes. Yeah, because we came to bring hope and unity and freedom and all the values that we believe in and we believe that's supposed to be in Israel. Because people are interested in you, okay? You are actually an item here, okay? Are you with me?
Yep, we do it.
Good.
Traced.
I'm
מודה לי כל בוקר שהחזרת את נשמתי.
It's a very hard time right now. It's a time of happy sadness and sad joy. The coming home of some of our hostages, the good news when we find out who's coming, the bad news when we find out that no one's coming, and it leaves us feeling silenced and hurting. And I think that the best thing in those times is to be able to reach out to each other, and the best way to do that is through music.
We represent the Cantors Assembly, the largest body of cantors in the world. Men, women from North America, South America, Europe, and Israel. And we would like to bring you this tefillah, Lishlom Medinat Yisrael.
שירת התקווה.
An organization called Lev Echad, which is civil emergency crisis response organization that knows how to reactivate itself ad hoc when it needs to. We call it a store, but it's not an actual store because everything is free. But it's a whole other sensation to have vendors helping you and to have a fitting room and to do it sort of very similar to shopping rather than being given. And so this is what we do here behind us. From here we were able to send out 18,000 different boxes. So what I like about this place is that in the same room you have baby formula and diapers and tourniquets and commando knives for the army. 18,000 boxes were shipped without a single truck paid. This is the spirit of the people that want to give, and everyone can give in different ways. This is the story of the storage.
Many families have been evacuated from the north and from the south. So we give them food, and that's what I'm doing here. I have a list of families today that need food. That's what's going on here. Thank you for coming.
Food, supplies, and it's powerful to see it in real time and to see Israel coming together as one people.
Doing it here with Jews, with my family, is so meaningful.
Tov Shabbat, it's good that you came. Okay, my name is Avraham, first of all. I'm the Rebbe of the Hospital of Tel Aviv, Medical Center of Tel Aviv. More than 20 years. It's a big hospital in Tel Aviv, the second one in Israel. Okay, you have to know this. 55 departments here. It's one of the 10 best hospitals in the world. We go now to see the recover place, okay? אני הרב של בית חולים, שמי אברהם, בסדר? בואו, אתם מוזמנים? He will tell the story from this Shabbat, from this Black Shabbos.
I'm from Kfar Aza, so we are living there about 21 years. I have 3 children, a son and 2 daughters, and I was out of the kibbutz in this Shabbat. And then my ex-wife, she sent me a message that there is a terrorist in the kibbutz. So I make a U-turn and I return back to the kibbutz. I saw that they are injured from shooting or from bombing because it was familiar. We took a massive shot. We also shot, and then I was injured in the chest. I got a bullet, part of bullet, and some metal part from RPG. Because I never saw in my life this kind of shot, and I was been in Lebanon a few years, so you can just imagine. They climb to the roof of the top of the house, and they shoot from there with a PK. It's a machine gun between the bodies of the terrorists and civilian. But we lost in our kibbutz. My daughter, she lost 2 friends of her. And you need to understand, this is a friend that was raising in my house. My son lost 2 friends. Very good people, very beautiful people. And that's all. Just the army came inside, they took me out. Then they rescued me to Barzilai hospital. From there, they brought me from Ichilot because it was a severe injury. And that's all. Here I passed few surgery. They took 2 parts of my lung. And I was unconscious 2 weeks. And that's all. And after that, another day, and another day, and another day, and now we are okay.
רפואה שלמה. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for talking.
לא, כאן הם יושבים, מתכנסים ביחד, זה המקום הציבורי. אוקיי. אחינו כל בית ישראל, אחינו כל בית ישראל,
שיר למעלות, יסיים אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי, מעתה
In general, we always cherish the love of the US and your support. So here you are, sing for us and make us stronger, banding us together. It's a huge help.
I would say welcome, but you know, I hope to meet you on other occasions also in my lives, in our lives. Please enter to our homes. This is a non-governmental organization. It was founded by the families of the hostages and the missing persons. So the first purpose of the foundation of this NGO by the families was not to let the subject off the political agenda. You won't hear not one argument. We are all committed, all united, focusing on one sole thing, is bringing these people back home. On this side, you see the medical department. This is the support for the families, you know, the psychologists and the talk and everything. Over there we passed. Hi. Hi, Dudi is one of the founders.
Listen, I'm a 2nd generation of the Holocaust. I grew up in a survivor house, but never ever in every night dream I thought that in the same morning, actually in the same afternoon, I will realize that one of our daughter was lying under 8 bodies of her friend because they were shot and she by luck wasn't shot. So this is the first daughter, first relative. She was rescued and we found it later on in the police station in Ofakim. But you can imagine what's happened to a girl when 8 of her friends being shot above her. The second one, Omer, is my wife's nephew. He was kidnapped. At 10 o'clock, I located his mobile phone behind the fence, behind the border. And knowing how does Gaza Strip looks, I realized that it's not a place that a 21 years old guy walking on Saturday morning. So since then, I understood that this is my mission. we are together with the family, that give the family a very, put it like a special relief, or they are involved. While they're involved, they can forget this they are doing thing. And in one hand, it's a good idea. In other hand, there was many family that start to work with us, but stop because they got a bad message, or that their relative is murdered or something. We started with 1,300 families. We went down. Now after the release, we are 160, something like that.
So you want to sing in Yiddish?
נשאיר משהו בעברית.
בעברית. Wow, thank you very much.
Thank you for existing, because without you, we are incomplete. There is a total interdependency between us here in Israel and you over there. We need you. Together we are one.
בשירה, ביחד, כדי לזכור ולהזכיר לעצמנו, לאחרים, למשפחות שכאן שאנחנו לא עוזבים אותם, לא עוזבות אותם לרגע. להזכיר לכולם בכל העולם שעד שהאחרון לא יצא הביתה, אנחנו פה נמשיך להתפלל. נתפלל לשלומם קודם כל, נתפלל לחזרתם, לשובם המהיר, נתפלל לחיילים שנמצאים עכשיו בשטח, נתפלל לפצועים ונתפלל לזכרם של כל מי שמצאו את מותם, נרצחו ב7 באוקטובר וגם בימים שאחריו.
עוד יש מפרש לבן באופק מול ענן שחור כחל, או שנבקש לו יהי, לו יהי, לו יהי, ענן לו יהי, או שנבקש לו יהי, לו יהי, לו יהי, ענן לו יהי, או שנבקש לו יהי.
מי ייתן ואחרים יגיעו להבנה זאת אשר מביאה לחופש מוחלט. בזמנים אלו אנו חושבים על האנשים שהחופש שלהם נמצא בסכנה, על אנשים שנכלאו בגלל אמונותיהם, על אנשים משועבדים או שעוברים עינויים, ועל כל אלו שעוברים התעללות, שלכודים או שסובלים מהתקפות. אנו מתפללים שזכויות האדם יישמרו, כדי שכל האנשים יוכלו להאמין ולהתפלל באופן חופשי, כדי ששוב ניתן יהיה לראות חופש באדמותינו. חופש ממלחמה, מעוני וממחסור.
השם שומרך, השם צילך, על יד ימינך.
גזר אדוני אלוהינו את ימינו בטובה, רחמים, חיים ושלום. תן במנהיגינו את היכולת לראות את נזר הבריאה הטמון בכל אדם. תני לנו את היכולת לתת אמון בבני האדם, הנלחמים על דרכם, על חייהם, על חיינו. הנחנו אדוני בדרכך, דרך אהבת האדם באשר הוא אדם, ודרך השכנת השלום בין אדם לחברו, בין אדם ליוצרו. בימים קשים אלה, תן בנו הכוח להאמין, כי בו יבוא היום. התפילה ותחנונים אנו פונים אליך להחזיר בשלום לבתיהם את יקירי עמך, השבויים והנעדרים והנעדרות והשבויות, שנעקרו ביד זדונית מבתיהם ונחטפו אל ארץ אויב. בחרדה לגורלם ובבעתם מהמחשבה על מה שעובר על הנעדרים והנעדרות, השבויים והשבויות שלנו, אך ידינו קצרו מלהושיע, ועל כן עושים אנו תחינתנו לפניך. אנא אדוני, יהי חסדך עם ראשי המדינה, שיזכו לבנותה ולבססה במשפט ובצדק מעתה ועד עולם. תן בליבם ובליבנו אהבת אחינו בית ישראל בכל מקום שהם, שנעשה כולנו אגודה אחת לעשות רצונך בלבב שלם. אדוני צבאות, אל אלוהי ישראל, שמור נא על חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, והצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, ושלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם, צאתם לשלום ובואם לביתיהם וליקיריהם לחיים ולשלום. ושבו כל שבויי ישראל ונעדריו לחיק ביתם. אבינו שבשמיים, שים שלום בארץ ושמחת עולם לכל יושביה, ושב יעקב ושקט ושאנן ואין מחריד, ויקוים בנו במהרה בימינו מקרא שכתוב, וישבו איש תחת גפנו ותחת תאנתו ואין מחריד, כפי אדוני צבאות דיבר, ופרוסוקת שלומך על כל יושבי תבל ארצך, וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן.
We were inspired by soldiers. We were inspired by people in hospital beds. We were inspired by each other. We were inspired by the young men behind the camera I'm looking into. As soon as you have the chance, just come home. Come home.
For every time I loved and then let go, For every time a scar indents my soul. They say that you move on as you grow old. Same old blazing summer feeling cold. Well, I don't wanna know who they're loving these days. So I don't wanna know, I don't wanna. Oh, it could have been. Well, I don't wanna know who they're loving these days. So I don't wanna know. It could have been us. It could have been us. It could have been. It could have been. Oh, it could have been us. It could have been us. It could have been. It could have been. It could have been us. Could have been us. Could have been.